and ready to go live. Oh, here we are, Emilie. We're live. For a second, it stopped. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Now we are live. Here we are, Emilie. I'm in UK, and you are. Tell me again. Where are you?
I'm in Vermont right now.
Right. Are you in lockdown? Are you free? What's your situation?
I'm not locked down. There are a lot of restrictions. I'm not really doing much, just out of safety, but there's no like strict lockdown the way that there is over there.
All right. Got it. We are at our third lockdown. I'm starting to lose the count, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, third lockdown. But I see, for instance, in Italy, my fellow Italians, Italy is a bit in front. If I think about the curve, they already got, they started first. So they are like 3 weeks in front if I compare Italy with the UK. And they started to go in they call it a yellow zone, where basically they can go out, they can eat inside a restaurant or something like that. So they started to be free, basically. That's the situation. So I don't know what will happen now, but this is the situation.
Yeah, I think technically here I could go eat in restaurants. I think that's happening. Right. I'm not doing it.
Got it. But, so you at home, basically. You stay at home most of the time.
Pretty much, yeah. Go on hikes and walks and get outside.
Do you miss? I don't know if you always traveled a lot or doing a lot of speeches around. I can imagine you had a lot of speech requests. Do you miss the events and the going around, or you adapted very well to the situation? How did you adapt?
I'm honestly like such an introvert.
Right.
So I'm okay with not traveling around and just kind of like, I'm such a homebody. Like I just, I'm not saying, not that I am enjoying it, but part of me is enjoying it.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't really miss that. I'm kind of happy being at home and with my family and living a quiet life at the moment. I do miss is just like seeing friends and like having game nights and dinner parties and things like that.
It's funny because I work from home and I manage my companies working remotely for many years now, probably 7 years, something like that. So I'm really used to, working from home, doing videos from home. I mean, this is my normal life. But since January last year, I'm in Brighton. I'm not moving for 1 year. I'm not traveling for 1 year. And to me, it started to feel weird, I think, oh gosh, that's weird. I'm okay because I'm like you, I'm good. I can stay here 24 hours. I have no problem with that. My wife could have problem with that. And my kids, but easy for me. On the other side, there is a certain limit that I'm discovering about my character. So I think I'm less introverted than I was thinking, something like that.
Yeah, I understand that. For me, it's like, I do miss like a party or like just going out to a bar and like having people around and like chatting, like the little things, it's like the little interactions and just seeing friends and
yeah. So can you believe that I launched a community 2 years ago, and the name, and I closed it because I couldn't follow it properly, and the name of the community was Slashers, that I discovered that in English is both a horror movie style, but also slashers, like with the people with the slash. When they ask you what's your job, and you answer, I'm an entrepreneur and I create content, and and you start with the end, you are a slasher, and then checking your work and thinking about what you do is exactly that. So I know that I'm not alone.
Totally. Actually, it's funny because I've got my different words for different work models. I've got the slash career, and then there's this other thing I was thinking of calling like a serial career, serial work model, serial career. And then somebody was like, I'm a serial slasher. And I was like, that just does not sound right. It sounds like a serial killer. So I need to like change my words a little bit. But yes, the slash career is like this slash that slash. So it's like programmer slash comedian slash teacher, slash artist. So it's someone who does many things.
But you know what's funny? That when I was a student, long time ago, I'm almost 50 now, so I'm 48. And if I think when I was, I don't know, 18 or 17, at school, everyone was teaching me, to find one job, do that job for the rest of your life. That's it. That was my, mantra. And then I was never... I didn't feel comfortable with that because I had a lot of different ideas, interests, and I got bored very quickly. If I launch a startup, after a bit, I say, oh gosh, I'm bored now. I want to do something else. And I always felt for so many years uncomfortable with that. And then I started to realize that it was part of my character, and like me, a lot of other people around the world, they were in the same situation. So the storytelling started to change about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that was my story too, and I think it's so many of our stories is just there's this pressure in society to like choose one thing and to just specialize and narrow our focus and just and I think there's this like myth that is the key to success. But if you actually look around at the world, especially now, like so many people are doing multiple things and they're not, I mean, some of them are struggling, but some specialists are struggling. It's not about like one equals success, the other is just like you're flailing about. There are plenty of people who do multiple things who are very successful and have thriving businesses or have thriving careers or, just really interesting lives. And it's really unfortunate because I think so many of us grow up feeling like there's something wrong with us if we can't pinpoint that one thing. Whereas if we just embraced our multiplicity, our multipotentiality, then we might be a lot happier and we might actually do more interesting work.
No, absolutely. By the way, Marco is sending a very sweet message. Look at that, Emilie. Your book has been very inspiring. Thank you. And you have a lot of congrats here. So very good. I like it. So the Italians love you. Just to let you know, that's it.
I love the Italians. I would love to come visit.
Have you ever been to Italy or not?
I've been once, but only for like a few days. So it really doesn't count. I was like 20 and I did a bus tour around Europe and so we did like Venice, Rome, Florence, like,
okay.
Yeah. So no, not really.
Some random bus.
I mean, it was like enough for me to be like, I have to go back there one day.
Got it. You know what? The other thing that to me was life-changing about this topic was when I was a professional table tennis player in my
all right, nice
university period, and I was doing that job, and I always had the problem. I could do multiple things, but I was not really strong in one, shot. You have some players that maybe have one fantastic backhand. That's it. Is their key to win. And I had many different things. So nothing was really incredible. And so I was always struggling and punishing myself and thinking, oh gosh, I have to find my one thing, And then one day I met this coach and he said, look, you are a very eclectic player, so that's your strength. You don't have to reduce to one to be good. So that was inspiring for me. And it was in sports, same problem. Athletes have the same exact problem with this culture of doing only one thing. That it works for some people, but you also need to have the right character probably to do only one thing for the rest of your life and you're also happy about it.
Yeah. And I think that there's this idea that like you either are the best or like your work doesn't matter at all. And I think that's just like not true. Like you can do really good work, even if you're not like the most technically skilled person at like your work is still valuable, still important. You can still make a difference. You can still, and maybe even do something a little bit more original. Like I think creativity doesn't necessarily come from the people who are like at the top of their game. It more comes from like the people who look at things a little bit differently, or blend together two different areas. So I think they're just different skill sets.
Yeah. How do you answer to the critics that say, well, but if you do a lot of things, you bad in everything, you never be good in one thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think just look around, just look at all the examples out there of people who are doing many things and are very good at them. It just doesn't hold up in reality. It's like, it's really easy to say that if you're not good at one thing, you're going to be bad at everything. But that just hasn't been my experience in terms of what I've seen out in the world.
Got it. And by the way, Elon Musk is doing Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, the thing, and I don't know, every day.
Ultimate multi-potentialite. Yeah.
Another multi-potential, I don't know how would he call himself, a generalist expert, something like that. Is Charlie Munger, the historical business partner of Warren Buffett, is another guy who can go into 100 million different areas and he knows about everything. And you think, wow, this guy is impressive. So there are so many people now that are also can be a good example.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like, it's not like you're starting from scratch every time you pursue something new. Like a lot of the skills that you pick up along the way are applicable in different areas, in different fields. So like I went to film school, and I studied kind of media and I've done a lot of writing in different areas, and like I use those skills when I'm running my business. And I don't have the best lighting right now, but so maybe it's not a great example, but like I can like make a good video if I need to. Yeah. And I've got like a background in web design, and even though I'm not a web designer, I use those skills when I'm working on my website and working on a new project. So like those skills, we pick them up even if we don't ultimately end up doing that other thing, and we use them in other ways.
And if someone today asks you what you do, what's your main answer?
Oh my God. I think it depends who I'm speaking to. I have a few different answers. But I think basically I'm an author and a community builder. That's the most succinct way I've found to sort of.
Right. So you mainly focus on your community in this moment.
I mean, that's mostly what I'm doing. And there's various different activities that go into that. Like I lead like online discussions, and I write articles and send a lot of emails and all kinds of different things.
All the activity related.
Yeah. But I think it's all about building community for me. Yeah.
Got it. And about community, what are your best lessons learned to run a community in a better way?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One thing that's worked really well for me is being authentic. Sort of just kind of, if I'm having a hard day, sometimes I'll share that. People really like it when you're down to earth and you just seem like a regular person, and that just works better for me also. I'm very much not like, I don't try and be some kind of guru or like perfect like media personality or whatever. I'm just me, and I think people really resonate with that. I also look for the strengths in other people, and I try and lift those up in our community. So we've got a lot of member-led workshops. I run a community of multi-potentialites, so people with a lot of different skills and a lot of different experiences. So if I see someone who has a certain background or a certain skill set, I'll kind of invite them to run a workshop, or however they'd like to get involved. However they'd like to get involved. Yeah.
Got it. But I saw that the community is not open in this moment, but you can join the waiting list or something like that. Do you open it like twice a year or something like that?
We open the community once a month.
All right, got it. Okay.
It actually was open yesterday, so you just missed it.
Oh, gosh! All right, okay. So you open once a month. In this way, you let not too many people come in, so it's a more gradual. I don't know how you say onboarding.
Yeah, because it's mostly for our existing members, just so that people don't get overwhelmed by just new people coming in all the time. And it's nice to be able to rally around and greet people. It's new member week, so lots of people are posting introductions, and then other members of the community are welcoming them and replying to their introductions. And so it's nice to just have that be focused a little bit.
I like it. And what does your community include? I mean, it's like a Facebook group. Are you, I don't know, Telegram? Do you meet physical events after COVID? I mean, how does it work?
So we've got our own platform. It's sort of if we're talking tech, it's like a WordPress discourse integration. So we've got a really active forum. And we've got groups for different, multi-potentialites have all kinds of different interests. So we've got like a writer's group and a musician's group and like a traveler's group and all kinds of groups. And then we've got a lot of live events that we run on Zoom, like 5 to 9 events every week.
Right.
So we do, I lead co-working.
Sorry. Did you say 5 to 9 every week?
Yeah. We have a lot of events. Yeah. And a lot of them are member led. So it started out with just like me and my team running events, like, a few times a month. And then all these multi-potentialites in all these different groups are like, I want to start like a regular entrepreneurs group. I want to start a regular accountability group for musicians. Like all kinds of things have come up on the calendar, and now we've got a very busy calendar. And especially since COVID, people have gotten very, very involved, and it's great to see. It's really awesome to see people kind of using the community in that way.
One problem that I had with my community was trying to select some sort of selection of the right people. At the end, we try to do a good selection because, maybe someone from outside think, the Emilie community is great, but then when he's inside is not the right person.
Right.
So this matching for me was very difficult. How are you solving it?
I mean, I think because we're a sort of a weird community, and most people who join, I have seen my TED Talk and they identify as multi-potentialites. I don't know that we're really having that problem. I mean, it's not a fit for everybody, but I think because my personality is like out there already, people kind of know what to expect to some degree. I don't know.
Got it. Interesting. By the way, there is, you have a lot of fans in it, and it really consider this because I say, all right, I give you just a couple, otherwise it become a list of, I love your book, Emilie, Sarah, good. And then we have Enrico. Emilie, you've been such an inspiration for many guys. Thank with the little heart. I mean, and I will stop there, but no, interesting. And then there are other, there is one, look, there is a mix Italian and English. Sarah, Emilie, sei state, do you speak a bit of Italian? Or
I don't.
All right. She says, sei state se una grande ispirazione means you have been and you are a great source of inspiration. And and also she wrote it in English. Very good.
Thank
so
you.
Interesting. Yeah. So you have a lot of fans there because I think it's such an important topic for everyone. And everything exploded after your TED Talk, or was also like that before, or that was the key moment?
So I was running Putty Like and publishing articles for about 4 or 5 years before the TED Talk. And it was sort of like a slow, steady growth. People would find me and become part of the community. But then when the TED Talk went viral, it was like everything doubled overnight. And things kind of exploded. I think it was important that it happened a few years in, because I felt more prepared and I felt like I knew what I was talking about a little bit more. If it had happened right at the beginning, I don't know. But it's been a lot. I've been at this for 10 years, and the TED Talk helped for sure. But it's been a lot of work too.
Before in the comments, I saw 3-4 people saying what to do if you are stuck. Maybe you don't know exactly where to go. You're not really passionate about something very specific. Do you have any suggestion to approach this starting line in the best way?
Yeah, I'm a fan of a lot of brainstorming. So you could sit down with a piece of paper and try and get all of your interests and passions and projects and ideas out on the page, just so that they're not just like swimming in your head, but it's there. And from there, you can start sort of putting stars next to the interests that really excite you, and then sort of crossing out the ones where you're like, okay, I've done that in the past, but I don't really need to pursue that right now. And then just starting to kind of explore a little bit, try things out on the side. You don't need to like pick one thing now and then just like commit 100%. You can kind of experiment and try things out and see where things lead. I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to like find the thing. And if we just let ourselves explore a little bit, we might actually have more answers.
Don't you think, Emilie, that often is also the media narrative that is like that? Because if I go into the real story of some, I don't know, Roger Federer, the tennis player, of course he's a tennis player for a long time, but before becoming a tennis player, he tried 1 gazillions of different sports. He didn't start with only, there are some athletes that just start when they are 5 and they say, I will be a football player. That's it. And he is a football player all life. But I mean, they're not the standard. I mean, usually you have no idea what to do. So you try and then test different things. But media always portray these great, incredible people, and you think, oh gosh, to be like that, I have to start now. Next 50 years, I just do that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's this like romantic idea that like, oh, like this person's a doctor, and then they were like, they knew they wanted to be a doctor when they were 4 years old, and they had their like toy stethoscopes, and like or like the writer, like she wrote her first novel when she was 8. Like it's like this romantic idea that's so unrealistic and like makes it so hard for the rest of us. I think it would be great if the media talked a lot more about all the different things that people do instead of just highlighting one path, because it's not it's not newsworthy probably saying, Monty, he's in Brighton, he does a little startups and also a few videos and also dishwashing pretty good, and right, it's better, if you find someone say, oh gosh, for the last 35 years he was incredible in picking the garbage with one hand, and wow, incredible. So probably it's just newsworthy that way. There was another question from Giovanni asking if you have a morning routine. I have a morning routine.
Do you have any multi-potential routine that could be interesting or not?
Well, maybe this is because I'm a multi-potentialite, but whenever I come up with a morning routine, it lasts like a few days, and then I'm like, I need to do something new. But I do, I've been like trying to meditate most mornings and stretch, and that's like a newer thing, but I'm maintaining it, and I just keep it simple. Nothing too crazy.
Emilie, recently, I mean, for the last 2 years, I discovered this Wim Hof, Wim Hof, the Iceman, the ice cold shower method.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I started 2 years ago very skeptic, because I'm Italian. We are skeptic about everything. I mean, we don't believe until you prove it. We don't believe, and it works incredibly well. I mean, it's painful because every morning you have to go there and say, now I'm gonna do it, and it's really cold, but it feels great. So I was really impressed.
Get up and you jump in the cold shower.
So what I do, I start with a hot shower, normal shower, and then I have a timer. stopwatch, and I say, all right, today, what should I do? 1 minute or 2 minutes? And it's a big difference between 1 minute and 2 minutes. So when I really feel very well, I say, all right, I'm going to do 2 minutes. And otherwise, I just do 1 minute, which is still long. 1 minute cold shower, if you're not used, is a long, long time to go. So usually you start maybe with 10 seconds, then 15, you start like that. And that's it. And then you go into the world. But your body is getting stronger, definitely. So I also interview him, and is a crazy Dutch guy, fantastic, interesting person. So that's it. That's the only routine that I kept in the morning.
All right. And it just makes it like you think clearer or feel good?
The idea behind is that your immune system gets stronger, because basically it's like doing arterial fitness. You're inside your veins, they restrict and then to protect the body from the cold, and then open up. So it's like doing abs for your arterial system, something like that. That's the idea. But it's incredible. There is a lot of research now, of course, and science behind. But that's the only routine. No, and another routine that I got is hanging. Just hanging.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Are you familiar with Ido Portal?
I've heard that name. I have a friend who's really, really obsessed with that stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. And I also was very, cynical about it. I thought, come on, hanging. What can hanging do? Hanging is incredible. I mean, you just stay there. Hang is free. You don't have to pay anyone. You just stay there. And 7 minutes during every day in little chunks, small chunks of time. And it works fantastic. So that's it. I didn't want to bore you with my...
No, it's super interesting. I sometimes do the 7-minute workout. You familiar with the 7-minute workout?
No, I read about all the 1 minute workout, 2 minutes, but 7 minutes, I don't know the 7 minutes. What does it do?
There's some science behind it. But it's just kind of like a mix of different body weight exercises. Like you do 30 seconds jumping jacks, then you like take 10 seconds off, then you do like 30 seconds of push-ups, 10 seconds off. Then there's like squats, there's a bunch of different things, and it's 7 minutes. And by the end of it, if you like really push yourself, you're exhausted.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been doing that in lockdown a little bit, like during COVID.
Okay. I did dry January, actually. I'm still in dry mode. That's the other habit of this period, but for the rest. Anyway, what are your next projects that you're working on that you can reveal after this period that is so crazy? By the way, when do you think this period will end and we'll start to have a different life? Like in the 90s.
I have no idea.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully things will get back to normal this year, but who knows?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you plan for the next 12 months? What's your...
I mean, so for me, like our community has been super active during COVID. So it's been a little bit of what's the term I'm looking for? Like an unexpected benefit, or like a kind of, and it also has made me feel like my work is more important. Not that I didn't feel that before, but when COVID hit, I just felt like I've got this community of hundreds of people. People are scared. People are out of work. People are at home. And like, I need to I want to kind of step up and like bring everyone together and do what I can for my community. And so I started running like weekly co-working sessions and just, getting more involved. And that's been really amazing. So I want to keep that up. And I've got a few projects. I wrote, this is totally outside of my main work, but I'm a multi-potentialite. So
yeah, I would expect that.
Yeah. So I wrote
a tennis book.
What?
Is a table tennis book. That would be an incredible news for me.
I wrote a TV pilot, like an episode, and so I'm working with a production company now, and we're going to be pitching that. So we'll see. It's a teen drama.
Interesting.
And that's something new and exciting. Yeah. I mean, I've got a little bit of a background in film. It's something I've always wanted to do, but that's happening now, and it's pretty exciting. And then I've got some, Putty, like, we did a whole redesign of the site about, I guess, last June. The new site came out. And I really wanted to make this shift from like a personal blog to a multi-author media site, something that's less about me and highlights a range of different voices, different multi-potentialites from different backgrounds. So we've been doing that, and I want to keep improving that and just making it better and better. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to like improve everything that we're doing, and just nothing crazy. Like, I don't have any big plans to like change anything massive in the community, but
got it.
Yeah.
So you're not going to Mars anytime soon, basically.
Not anytime soon. Yeah.
More. Got it. By the way, I saw this incredible return to the newsletter. This morning, they sold a company. It's called The Hustle. They sold it to HubSpot, and it was just a newsletter, like a daily newsletter. And I saw Twitter buying a newsletter platform review. So probably, like, I don't know if you are also focused for your community just on a newsletter, like in the old days. It's coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I've just done a weekly newsletter every week since the beginning. And it's, I mean, especially at first, it was huge because I would just be really personal in my newsletters, and I would encourage people to reply. I can't do that now because it gets a little overwhelming, but I think it was really a big part of building the community and kind of having people feel like they're involved and getting them involved.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
What about Clubhouse? Is Clubhouse viral there or not?
I don't know. Everyone keeps inviting me to Clubhouse. I haven't. Someone invited me today, and I was like, I've got another thing.
Right. Zero.
I haven't been in there yet.
Okay, got it. It's exploding. I see. Like, it's. I don't know. It's really exploding in an incredible way. So,
do you think it's gonna? Do you think it's going to stick around?
Yeah, I think so. It's not, like, I don't know how nerdy you are on the platforms, but do you remember Meerkat? When Meerkat at South by Southwest exploded, it was a live stream on Twitter. It was the first time. And then Twitter launched its own platform. Yeah. But sometimes you see, just hype, or I don't know, Among Us, a video game that my kids play for 1 week, like was the only thing in the universe, and then disappear, Yeah. And this thing is different. And I think would be interesting for your community because you can have interesting conversations there. Mm-hmm. And, if I use a forum or a live stream, and I use the comments like that, we don't have the context of the person there. And inside Clubhouse, you can hear the voice. So you can hear if someone is stressed or is worried or is joking. So you have a different way of talking. So I like that. Definitely. I like that. But we'll find out. Maybe it will disappear tomorrow, and that's it. And I was wrong. Very good. Emilie, thank you so much. Oh, no, I was curious about one thing, final thing. But did Chris Anderson call you from the TED or not? Or you met him, or he just knocked at your house and say, "Hey, I'm Chris Anderson. I really love your video." And how did it work?
No, I've not heard from Chris personally, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, no. I've heard from different people who work at TED.
Right.
No, the way that happened was I did a TEDx talk in Bend, Oregon, and the video went up, and it did all right, and it was on YouTube and everything. And then a few months later, I got an email from TED, and they were like, "We're featuring your talk tomorrow." And then it was on the front page of TED.com, and then everything was it was like, whoa.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. Wow. It was wild. And when you do, there's like thousands of TEDx events all the time. Like, there's so many, and only I think 1% of them get featured on TED. And I was just, the whole time I was like, I know it's unlikely, but I need to like do my very best, prepare the best talk I can, like just prepare if there's even a chance. And I'm so glad that I did.
I've decided to never attend a TEDx because I only will attend the TED.com, which means I will never be on TED.com. That's my decision. No, it's fantastic. It's very rare that a TEDx talk get picked and go in the home. There is a fantastic selection, which is probably the main reason of TED success, I think. A great selection, and they pay a lot of attention about the speakers and the content.
Yeah. And I just knew that I had something that people would resonate with. You know, this idea of being a multi-potentialite, someone with many passions. Like it's like out there, and other people have spoken about it, but I just felt like I could, get this message across in a different way.
Yeah. Love it. Emilie, thank you so much. How to be good at everything. How to be everything is I think it's fantastic. Also the title. How did you decide the title, How to Be Everything?
Oh, that was so hard. I think it was actually my agent's idea to come up with that title. I was like, I want multi-potentialite in the title. And she was like, no one's going to know what that is. And, but it's just what I was writing about. And she was like, how about How to Be Everything? And I was like, all right, it's got a certain ring to it.
Fantastic. I recommend, by the way, Gennaro started to read. I started to read How to Be Everything, Extraordinary Coincidence. And here we are. I suggest you Emilie's book and go to check Emilie's work. What's the best website to go to see everything you do?
puttylike.com, PUTTYLIKE.
Fantastic. Puttylike.com. And Emilie, let's keep in touch. And next time, let's do some multi-potential thing together in Brighton or in Vermont. Fantastic.
Sounds great. All right. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.